Welcome to Techno Sapiens.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. You know, we flip a switch and the lights come on. We plug in a charger and boom, our devices power up instantly. We do it, dozens of times a day without even a second thought, right? But how does that raw energy actually cross the threshold from the outside world right into our personal living spaces? Well, today, we're going on this absolutely incredible physical journey together. We're going to trace the exact step-by-step path that electricity takes from the outside grid all the way into your home. Let's get started. So, we all see those power lines or transformers running down our neighborhoods. But the big question we're answering today is this: what actually happens after electricity reaches your street? It's going to hook us right into exploring that unseen infrastructure existing literally just beyond your front door. It's this beautifully orchestrated sequence of physical connections, and I promise, by the end of this explainer, you are never going to look at your wall outlets the same way again. Okay, let's dive into this structural roadmap. Today, we'll be breaking this down into 5 quick sections. First up, the service drop. Second, the energy meter. Third, the main breaker. Fourth, the distribution board. And finally, your home circuits. Section 1, the service drop. Crossing the property line. We are starting right exactly where the power physically leaves the municipal street. So what is the service drop? Simply put, it's the physical connection from the grid to the house. Spatially speaking, this is the literal handoff point. It's that set of overhead or sometimes underground wires that stretch from the utility company's closest power pole or transformer directly to the structure of your house. It is the very first step in taking public utility power and routing it right onto your personal property. I really want to emphasize the spatial journey here. You can kind of think of the service drop as the vital physical bridge from the street to your home. Because without this bridge, you're entirely disconnected from the grid. It perfectly spans the gap between the outside world and your private residence, carrying a massive amount of unmeasured potential energy right up to your exterior wall. Section 2, the energy meter, measuring the intake. All right, now that electricity has crossed the property line, it hits the exterior of your house and, well, it has to be accounted for.
Enter the energy meter. This is a device that tracks exactly how much electricity your home is using. Every single watt of power coming from that service drop absolutely must pass through this component before it ever goes inside the interior of your house. It just sits right there on the side of your home, silently measuring the intake day and night.
And this brilliantly illustrates what it actually does. Think of the energy meter as the toll booth for your incoming power. Just like a toll booth on a highway precisely tracks and charges the cars passing through, your energy meter precisely tracks the flow of electricity. It basically guarantees that the utility company knows exactly how much power you're pulling from that initial service drop bridge. Moving right along to Section 3, the main breaker, the primary safety shutoff. This is the very first thing electricity encounters once it's inside your walls, and it represents a massive shift from just routing power to actually controlling it safely. So the main breaker is essentially the master switch that can safely cut off all incoming power to the house. And this is a truly vital role. All that raw energy that just came rushing through the meter is funneled right into this single point. If there's ever a massive power surge, or if you just need to do some major electrical work, flipping this one single switch immediately halts the flow of electricity to the entire home. It's actually incredibly helpful to characterize this specific component as the ultimate gatekeeper, or the safety bouncer of your house. It stands right there at the doorway of your home's internal electrical system. If things get out of hand, or if it detects a dangerous overload coming from the outside, the bouncer steps in, shuts the door, and completely protects the entire house from damage.
Section 4, the distribution board splitting the power up. Now, up until this point, the electricity has traveled in one massive stream, but now it really needs to get organized.
The distribution board is the panel that divides that electrical power into subsidiary circuits. You can think of it as the central hub. It takes that one huge incoming flow of power that just made it past the main breaker, and it finally splits it up into smaller, much more manageable streams that can be safely sent around the house.
So, the crucial point is understanding the contrast between these two inside components. On one hand, you've got the main breaker, which acts as the master shutoff for literally everything. But on the other hand, you have the distribution board, which handles localized circuit routing. They work together inside the exact same physical panel box on your wall, sure, but they serve two very different sequential purposes in the journey of your electricity. If the main breaker is the bouncer, Then the distribution board is absolutely the traffic cop. It acts as the organizational brain, perfectly directing the electricity down all those different paths. It tells one stream of power, hey, go to the kitchen, another to head to the bedroom lighting, and another down to the washing machine. It ensures that the power goes exactly where it needs to go, safely and efficiently.
Section 5. Your home circuits, delivering power to the rooms. This is where electricity finally interacts with our everyday lives.
Let's move to and see how this builds out the complete map we've been following. Step 1. The electricity crosses the property line at the service drop. Step 2. It's measured at the energy meter. Step 3. It passes the safety check of the main breaker. Step 4. It gets organized and split up by the distribution board. And finally, Step 5. It travels along the circuits.
These circuits inside your house represent the ultimate final destination of this whole amazing journey. These circuits physically reside entirely inside the house, running behind your drywall, tucked under your floors, and snaking above your ceilings. They are the individual, localized pathways carrying those divided streams of power directly to the outlets and light switches in every single room of your home. Now, what's really interesting about this is we can conceptualize these final circuits as unseen veins delivering lifeblood throughout your living space. Just as veins deliver energy to every part of a physical body, these circuits ensure that the power, which originated miles and miles away on the municipal grid, is delivered right to the tip of your phone charger or the bulb in your reading lamp.
And with that, we've reached the end of this incredible physical sequence, which leaves us with a final provocative thought. How much do you take this hidden infrastructure for granted? Honestly, every single time you flip a switch, this complex, 5-step journey, from the service drop bridge, right through the toll booth meter, past the bouncer breaker, directed by the traffic cop distribution board, and finally flowing through the invisible veins of your circuits, is happening right inside your walls every single day. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope you leave today with a brand new appreciation for the hidden power surrounding you.